What happens when Alexis breaks the baby news to Julius? How did the fairy tale end for Keano and Damodrick? To answer this and other important questions, allow me to take us back to the beginning. Hello and welcome to Lawd Lukan. It's time to take your injury and add a touch of insult as we come crashing down on another episode of Love After Lockup. On today's show, silence is guilt-ridden for Julius.
Where the food at?
Alexis has had enough again.
It's not gonna work.
Quiana reloads the laundry launcher.
Give a what they are. Do you know how much money I put in your books?
That baby said. All this and more right here on the Lawd Lukan channel.
Yeah, that's a lot, man. That's crazy. I don't know what to say.
Cheerio, how's it? And breaker 1-9er to you. Big loves to those who've subscribed, you beautiful people, and a Stan the T-Rex to the lords and ladies at the Lukan Manor. First to fiddle around with your finale is Alexis and Julius. Some things, my beautiful tulip, age well over time, like, wine and cheese. Some things that don't age well include this clip from Alexis. And it's not just me nomming down on this thoughtsicle. This didn't age well, lol. It did. Hearty face thing and a bit of fire. What? How on earth could you think it aged well? Let's just compare the two. Alex single, woohoo and stuff, and Alex with the man of her dreams. Living the dream. I think the editors were trying out a bit of symbolism as they set up her little bit with shots of a doormat. Nicely done. And her with some eggs that get broken. That's verging on profound for Lalu. But it's not the woohoo roller coaster of love that she thought it would be, as her man seems to be missing in action.
I actually don't know where Julius is right now. I have no clue, so he didn't come home last night.
Can't imagine where he might have gone. But before he gets back from his drive of shame, Alexis is in the kitchen whipping up a little something. Surely of all the cast we've seen butchering an egg on this show, I have faith that Alexis knows her way round a skillet.
No, girl.
Ah, well, okay. How old is that oil? Yummy. Bacon that tastes like the last 100 things you cooked. And why cook them like that? Yeah, I want one soft, one's crispy, and one incinerated with an inch of its life, please. I'll stick to the coffee and juice, thanks. So, after meeting Julius's video girls, Alexis has decided that it's all fine and she's just not compartmentalizing it correctly.
It's gonna be hard to get used to, being able to separate if it's work or, something more than that.
Yes, indeed. Rather than setting boundaries, setting limits, and setting his ass out on the curb, she's come to the genius conclusion that it'll all be fine. She just needs to worry about which is business and, which is business.
If he can't set my boundaries, then it's not gonna work.
Right, where's that shot the doormat again? She's got some big words for the big girl pants she's intending on wearing, and says that she's not having it anymore.
I just feel like, man, he just don't respect me. And it's just time for me to be standing up for myself.
So let's watch as she does her version of not having it anymore. So Julius walks in, brandishing a trophy from last night, a bottle of Don Julio tequila, which is pretty cheap, just like him. And it looks like it's pretending to be a more expensive product, just like him. Also, it's kind of funny he attaches himself to Don Julio, or Don Julius Caesar d'Austria. Nothing to do with the Julius Caesar that we would know of, although he was the son of Rudolph Caesar. Rudolph. I bet Blitzer, Prancer and Vixen were very dismayed about not getting the Caesar title. Damn that pesky red nose. Anyway, Don Julio. Here's the highlights. He tried to murder a barber's daughter and threw her body out of a window, only she wasn't dead. So she ran back to her parents. Don Julio then imprisoned her father until he let her go back to him. And when she did, he cut her into little pieces. Well, that's a horse to hitch your wagon to, isn't it? A person that did bad things to a young person and was hated by the public. That's kind of familiar. Anyway, aside from polishing off a bottle of pretend Patreon, I guess they're on a bit of a budget, what else was Julius up to?
Where you been at?
Was that Drew house?
Ah, Drew, yes. Frank and Julius. They tried to clone him, but they went and spilt vanilla shake with extra soy in the machine. Also, the guy that was with him when he was seeing the video girls. So yeah, what could we possibly be worried about?
Why you ain't text or called me last night?
Where the food
at? Okay, now I don't know about your version of not having it anymore, but mine doesn't resemble this. Firstly, he's made it 6 feet into the flat, not walked into a locked door chin first. And secondly, you sit there stuffing your face with bacon, and let's face it, you could do a bit less of that.
I didn't know if he was coming or not. You ain't come home.
And he's just saying nothing. Nothing at all. No bullshit excuse, no vaguely interested reasoning. Just silence. A sign of a man who lacks the intelligence to solve problems without running away like a child.
You know when I come home.
You didn't come home last night.
Duh, oh yeah. You fucking retard. You can even see the moment that it dawns on him that he said probably one of the most stupidest things in the world. But it wasn't the stupidest thing he had to say. He had saved that for the next part.
Yeah, I was just chilling.
Yeah, all that not coming home wasn't me not coming home. It was me chilling. Therefore, you're wrong. And, you didn't put any salt on my eggs. Quick question, though. Why is he still here? Quiana had the right approach last week by weaponizing Damodrick's wardrobe. So why is this streak of piss happily munching on breakfast? Slightly suspicious how she had it ready for just when he walked through the door, but, shh, don't question the authenticity of the show. Anyway, it's shocking how easy it is to shoot Julius down.
So you can't tell me you chilling in that Drew house?
One sentence, and he's like, ugh, I didn't see that one coming. Didn't even consider making excuses, even just the obvious one. I was ill, I fell asleep, I was playing with the Marnie's tetherballs. Anything, just say something.
That was my bad. But it wasn't nothing, though.
Oh, well, that's fine then, isn't it? Yeah, all is forgiven. Your bad, my misunderstanding. But Alexis has one more little trick up her sleeve. It's time to drop the news that Don Julio has gotten her pregio.
So what this mean?
Fuck my baby dad. Fuck my baby dad.
What the fuck do you think it means? Nah, it's a new kind of spoon. Why don't you go and give your coffee a stir? But luckily, Alexis had her whiteboard at hand and explained the birds and bees. And once Julius understood what pregnant meant, they continued to film.
Pregnant?
Yeah, I'm pregnant. We pregnant.
Damn.
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 Damn, you sure though?
Yeah, feed on two of them.
Yep, peed on them both and then put them right next to your breakfast. She did have the courtesy to put the little cap on though, so still, while she was scrambling some eggs, he's been busy fertilizing hers.
Yeah, that's a lot, man. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what to say.
Well, you usually say nothing, so I would have thought that was particularly difficult to do.
We got a lot going on right now. You gonna be able to handle that?
Can she handle it? So immediately there's no responsibility or interest in the child. Can you handle that? Like it's not his issue. Complete detachment.
I'm not really trying to have no kids right now.
So, yeah, well, good job, Alexis, who goes off to cry in a cupboard. Now, she's clearly not a ninja with the nylons, quite like Quiana, who is currently giving a lesson in the correct way to deal with a cheating, lying scumbag. First tip. When throwing multiple items of clothing, use 2 hands to ensure the cluster stays together longer.
You know what they are. Do you know how much money I put in your books?
Oh, no, not the PS5. Yeah, the PS5. Heave that bastard down the road. Yeah, Quiana. But my sympathy takes a bit of a dive as they start to do some actual talking. And it appears that they both think the other person started it.
Because when I was gone, I gave you all my trust.
Yes, indeed. What she's not so keen on bringing up is the fact that when he went into solitary, she found he was texting Julius.
While Damodrick was in the shoe, because I found out that he was texting his baby mama.
She gives us a look like, well, obviously that's reasonable. Like, obviously I cheated him, what else would you do? Well, leave would be my first thought, but, seeing as love is some sort of endurance race, apparently, that didn't happen. But in her mind, she didn't cheat.
I did have a slip-up.
Oh, yeah, she slipped up, but, he was cheating. Even though the outcome was largely the same, from what I can see, his was words first and she was actions first. And that's totally not a toxic way of going about things.
So, I saw he was entertaining someone, so I started entertaining someone.
Which is kind of crazy because she talks all good strong words and candor.
You don't have that situation taken care of, so how can you start a situation with me?
But then totally undermines herself by falling for the guy she's been falling for the last 10 years. But luckily though, she has seen the light at the end of the tunnel of trauma and is chucking his ass out.
Enjoy your evening.
Don't let the door hit you when the good Lord split ya, I believe the saying is. And as Damodrick jumpstarts his shit heap and limps off down the road.
Not proud of it.
He's talking about his relationship, not the car, by the way.
There's definitely some regrets there.
Probably the most honest thing he's ever said. And what of Quiana? Does she have some parting words of wisdom as we say goodbye to them?
I feel like a fool. I feel embarrassed. I feel betrayed. I feel dumb.
Yep, most likely. Sorry, was I supposed to give a balanced and thoughtful summary? Tell her it's not her fault and dust off and off a life lesson from the ashes of a failed relationship? Well, I'll just go ahead and let her do that bit. Well said. Well, that's the end of this episode and the start of the end of this season. I'll be wrapping it up all in a neat little parcel for you all this week. I thank you so much for your thoughts and kindness. I'm truly humbled by your support for what I do. So if you enjoy what I do, then please do like, subscribe, and try one of these delightful offerings. So until we meet again, stay beautiful, love to my 3, and you take care of yourself.
Please subscribe now